Doc, people listen to us for nonsense, and we give it to them in spades. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. Some would even say, on our best days, malarkey. Braves, defending champs. Boy, it sure would be a shame if there was no season next year and we were just still the defending champs.
Also, this guy that got hit, how old was he?
46.
What a loser, just sissy man. You just got punched in the face by a 90-year-old man? Come on, dude.
I'll bet Doc is like the Sinbad of Ames, Iowa.
Oh,
because people, I didn't realize, I thought it was just a Doc thing with the corn jokes. Iowa people love corn jokes.
Well, you know what they say, knee high by July, baby.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that's killing in the Midwest right now. I'm sure when that hits their ears, they're like, that Doc, he gets us.
Doc, what do I love more than anything? That's right, an angry football team.
I prefer to think of Warsaw as like a battle of who's the best saw, right? So you have like a sawzall, you have a skill saw, you have a hacksaw, handsaw. It's just a battle of saws to the death.
Welcome to the Spaghetti Junction Boys podcast, coming to you from beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. I am your host, joined by Doc Jacobson and Ben Ralston. Before we get things started here, we want to thank our friends over at Manscaped. Support for the Spaghetti Junction Boys podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free shipping with the code SJBAtlanta at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls. It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code SJBAtlanta at manscaped.com. All right, I said before we get things started, I wanted to thank our friends at Manscaped, and I did that. They're our friends. I thanked them. There we are. But before we get into the rest of the show, Doc came in to the pre-show hot. Red hot. And is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I still don't fully grasp what about, but I'll let him explain it.
Doc, for.
All right. I am in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's a phenomenal place here, up in the mountains, very beautiful, very great views, everything. But they got this little touristy area, a little trap, right? They get this little mountain mall, they call it, where it's about 6 stories, half the flights, all that stuff. So I, begrudgingly get dragged in there, and I'm like, all right, we'll go check it out. Find a sports memorabilia store. I'm like, who would have thought? In the middle of the Tennessee and the North Carolina border of the Smoky Mountains, there's a sports memorabilia store here. So I go in, peruse for about 30, 40 minutes, wound up buying about $100 worth of things, and go up a floor to the next store. I come out of the store, and I'm accosted by the guy that I just paid $100 for memorabilia for, and goes, sir, could you give us back that Alabama ring you took? I look at him, I go, excuse me? He goes, yeah, the Alabama ring you took. I go, buddy, look at my bag. I'll empty my pockets. I ain't got no Alabama ring for you. I was in there cursing the Nebraska bug eaters for 25 minutes for you, trying to make jokes. You can't laugh? It's the small town tourism. The people that are just the tourist, curators here, right? They don't know how to curate. They're not used to a big city market. They're not used to a lot of people coming in and out. I'm not sitting here saying, I couldn't have stolen something. I might fit a profile. Who knows? But I gave that man my pockets. And I was like, sir, I didn't steal nothing. Why would I steal anything Alabama? Everything I bought here was Iowa State or Minnesota Vikings related. And then he has the balls to mutter under his breath and go, enjoy the ring, and walked away. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That set me off. That's what set me off. I was like, really, dude?
You see, I have 2 things on this. One, it doesn't sound like your issue is with small town tourists.
That's what I was going to say.
I meant tourism. I meant
and you're extrapolating everything in small town tourism to this one guy. But 2, I am with you. I ride with you on this. I would have been a bit annoyed about the shoplifting accusation, but through the roof angry with the fact that in his head he was like, yeah, I'm right about this. You got the better of me, but I know you stole it. Even if this guy wants you to drop your drawers and spread your cheeks to see if the ring is in there, I'm with you on that. That would have set me off.
It
If he had
seems
dropped
like
if he had dropped a pal, gloves down, fist thrown immediately. So he's lucky he didn't drop a pal.
That's me with boss.
he was in a weird gray area where he was confident enough that you stole it for the snarky remark, but not confident enough to like involve the authorities.
Yeah. Like, are you going to detain me?
Yeah.
What sort of case do you think you have? Were you like sticking your hands in your pocket? Is this an expensive ring? Those are two very different questions.
No, it had to be like everything. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have my hands in my pockets. I basically was a prison inmate on the yard with my pockets inside out, saying, "Hold my pocket, son." But we're okay because I didn't have it on me, and it was an Alabama ring. It was probably $5. Shit, Alabama price $250.
Is it like a pinky ring or is it like a national title replica ring?
I didn't even see rings in this whole fucking store. That's what also pissed me off. I was like, seriously? Where were the rings?
Well, if they don't have any inventory, it stands to reason you might have taken it. The last one.
He probably thought with his comment he was going to catch you being like, "Enjoy the ring. I will." Got you.
The ultimate jinx moment of just admitting to it right as he walks away.
I would have liked that. Have you considered a spin zone? This guy's a Tennessee fan, and he knows Alabama's not getting a ring this year, thanks in large part to them winning at Rocky Top. He goes, "Hey, you steal Alabama's ring," and he was expecting you to go, "No, I bet the Vols did," and then the two of you could have laughed, and he'd be like, "Hey, by the way, that bug eater joke, really good," and then you have a friend for life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to be this guy's friend because I'm kind of putting some things together here. I was wearing this hat, which looks like an Alabama red A, so maybe he just can't read.
Is that a Diamondbacks hat?
No, this is just a Colorado Brewery hat.
Oh, okay.
Avery Brewing Company, Boulder.
I had that's right. Yeah, we'll blow that in post.
If I got some tape, let me tape over this.
We like we're Johnny's Hideaway.
Yeah.
I actually was accused of shoplifting once. This was maybe like 2-3 years ago. I was at a Publix and I was in a salty mood. I was one scaly alligator, if you get what I'm saying. And I must have like been texting and put my phone in my pocket, but like a stock boy at a Publix was like, "Hey, can I check your pocket?" And I just turned around, and all that was in there was my phone, and I pulled out my phone and said, "Until grocery stores start selling iPhones, I think I'm good." And then I kept walking, which was a bit of a dickish way to respond to someone doing their job, but I was having a bad day. And what am I going to steal at a Publix that's fitting in my pocket? Like, I'm going around grocery shopping, and I'm just going to be like, "Hey, this instant gravy mix is mine, off the books."
I have a friend who will steal something at the self-checkout at Walmart when purchasing other items just to prove a point.
Wow, does it work?
Yeah, but he's like, they deserve it. It's like an anti-corporation stance.
Ben's legalese. I have a friend. Big time air quotes.
It's not me.
This is how you get your jollies, isn't it?
I've never shoplifted.
Something that someone who shoplifts, you probably don't even consider it shoplifting because you're sticking it to the man. I mean, I get what he's saying. Walmart's not going to miss that. Didn't Walmart put some figures out on their estimated shoplifting losses every year, and it's just astronomical? I mean, this isn't mom and pop shop like, "Oh, we've owned this Walmart for 40 years, and we're hoping to retire to Gatlinburg one day," and you're just taking that out of their bottom line. I hope whoever this is does keep a spreadsheet where he's just like, 1 Snickers, 109 saved by me.
I mean, this guy,
To the IRS.
This guy was like the spitting image of Squints from frickin' Sandlot. I mean, he was just a little fella. I wasn't trying to be mean to him. I was just being like, "Hey, dude, check my pockets." Like, I don't
What did he buy?
I bought an Iowa State wooden statue figure for the mantle. It's awesome. A Vikings mini helmet, and then an Iowa State beer opener keychain thing. I mean,
These
3
things
things that
seem
are
pretty
very
reasonably
in my
priced
lane.
for $70.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the most. I mean, it was. All right, I over exaggerated a little bit. 75, but still, I'm not in there with no money, not being able to pay for this stuff, trying to steal Alabama football rings. What is this?
But now you have a credibility problem because you first told us 70. Now it's 75.
Yeah, story's changing.
Yeah.
I on the
All right, you can call me an asshole, you can call me a liar, you can call me whatever you want, but as soon as you invoke stealing, I'm officially done, and it's hands throwing time almost.
I once saw the worst shoplifting attempt one could possibly see. It was at the Publix in Buckhead by Lenox Mall, where I don't mean to say it like this, but he was obviously homeless. Like, calling a spade, there was no one who was like, he must have just gotten out of the OR. Like, he was very obviously homeless. He picked up what had to be $150 of groceries. He went to the self-checkout and just was not scanning a single thing, just kept putting them into bags, put them into a cart, and then tried to walk out. And the lady who's, like, they always have a representative patrolling those. She was just standing there, like, sir, you have to pay for those. And he just looked at her, shook his head, and walked out the door and left the cart right next to her. I was like, you thought that was going to work? Like, what's your end game here? I was like,
he could have wanted to go to prison.
Yeah. He's like, that was my shot. That was – maybe he thought he was going to go to jail, and, like, when you go to jail and they take all your items and give them back after you get out, that he was going to receive all those groceries. Like, yeah, when I went in here, I had, like, 11 bags of Tostitos chips. I would like those back now, please.
They're in the evidence room. All right, we'll go get them.
Speaking of stealing in Buckhead, last time I was down shopping in Buckhead, I saw 2 people just bum rush the security guard and walk out like $400 worth of stuff. It was insane. The craziest thing I've ever seen.
$400, that's a lot of Alabama rings, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. These guys should be watching out for those hooligans, not me and my sister walking around a sporting goods store talking about how the bug eaters can all go to hell.
Now, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong here. When I think of small town tourists and the retailers that exist there, whether you're looking at Breckenridge, Key West, Gulf Shores, Gettysburg, places like that, I feel like my experiences with those, every person behind the counter I've come across is on their phone the entire time and would not care if you lit that place on fire with them in it.
Yeah, but sports memorabilia, that's why I need to know what kind of ring this is.
I doubt it's a national championship ring, Ben, if that's what you're worrying about.
Hey, what we should do...
Because I would have been in handcuffs and cavity searched.
We should go back to this memorabilia shop and all steal something. He can't stop all of us. And we'll play a little game. We'll see who gets away. But it all has to be like it can't be like, a Michael Jordan signed ball. Just so when the arrest report comes out on who he does pick up out of us, that it's just like, you have a Gary Gaetti signed second base? Why?
All right, 2 things. First of all, this was not that kind of sports memorabilia store. This was a match.
That's a Steven Garcia signed trading card? Why did they?
This is a match. Somebody pops their trunk in a tailgate parking lot at a Ravens game and just has like Ravens wind socks and like random assortment of goods. This is not like high profile autographed sports memorabilia. Half the things in there were bottle openers. So that's one thing. 2, I'm now remembering there was another rowdy group of what seemed to be teenage kids that probably did steal this ring and were trying to put it on me. So I'm extra mad now. The youth. What's wrong with these youths?
Should we go back and like Pretty Woman this store? Like, you actually buy the Alabama ring?
I buy the whole fucking store. Tell them to get lost.
You just made a big mistake. Huge.
Hope
I
you
actually
enjoy this. Just throw money at them.
I own a construction company. I was buying Alabama rings for everyone there, but you just missed out on some business, bucko.
Like, yeah, I did make a huge mistake. I opened this bottle opener store in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I'm so underwater. I'm just lashing out.
My
Please
wife
help
left.
me.
My dog even left. My life's in shambles, pal. Cut me some slack. Oh, you know what you could do? Go back tomorrow, buy something else, but fucking steal a ring for real this time. He can't accuse you both. If he
Yeah.
accuses
Is
you
that double
again-
jeopardy? Ben, is that double jeopardy? I can't be accused of the same crime twice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's true.
again
It's
with
in the
this.
Constitution.
Again with this. You think like wear a pocket tee and put it in that pocket so it's sticking out. Like
Like
you're taking a
looks
ring
like
again.
looks like a
Buddy,
nipple
what is
ring.
with you in this ring? Enough. Let it go.
Yeah, this guy really fucking grinded my gears today. It was bad. Chat my ass.
On a more positive note, Ben sent me. People send me things to The Athletic all the time, and I canceled my Athletics subscription like 3 years ago. So if you're listening to this and you've sent me an article from The Athletic, I have not read it. I have not. I've been meaning to, but I have not read it. But Ben sent something for Bill Shea, a senior sports business writer at The Athletic, who said Major League Pickleball said Thursday that Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville brand will become the organization's title sponsor. That makes sense as the company sells pickleball gear, has courts at its planned communities, and has sponsored tournaments. MLP has a number of notable sports investors / team owners, including LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Naomi Osaka, and Patrick Mahomes. This, like, aside from Johnsonville sponsoring the American Cornhole League, this shit feels remarkably on brand, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
No, like Bill's tweet, it almost like he was like, shit, why didn't I think of this?
The tweet should have started with obviously.
Yeah. And instead of just hidden in the middle as this makes sense, be like, yeah, we know. I would like to go to like that owners meeting though, where it's just LeBron and Jimmy Buffett.
I hope that he takes it all the way to where these, sports, like niche sports like this always start out like kind of goofy, where it's just like TED and accounting weekends by playing pickleball. But then as like a couple years go on, you're just like, oh shit, we have failed tennis players who are now just ripping people apart in pickleball. But I hope that Jimmy Buffett and Margaritaville goes all out in this. I hope they spend a ton of money on this, and to where they're like, okay, now in between sets, the players will have their cheeseburger in paradise. Like, Jesus Christ. We're in Key Biscayne. It's 98 degrees. I cannot eat a cheeseburger right now. They're like, part of the deal. They're paying us. By the way, after the third set, rum runners for everyone with a topper if you're losing at the time of the match. Like, oh, God. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Well, it's fucking high noon here. I can't be having these drinks.
A loss is immediately followed by a pickleback shot, too.
Is that
Pirate Is there in your league Pirates at 50?
That would be nice. Have you ever watched pickleball on TV?
I played it a week ago.
That wasn't my question.
Have you seen real professionals play, not you dicking around in the backyard?
I have not. Are they pretty good?
Well, it's like a way different version than I'm sure how you played it. Like they just kind of stand 10 feet
I
apart.
don't know how I played.
that's fair. But they like the ball stays airborne all the time until like someone makes a move. But it's pretty entertaining. It's like watching professional Pong, the computer game.
Yeah, I'm familiar. You know what happens when you assume, Ben? you have Doc's finger pointing right back at you in Gatlinburg. All right.
Wait, where did you play?
There's a couple courts around Atlanta. There's one right near us. We'll get offline. I actually just bought a set. It's sitting right over there, so I'm good to go.
I was gonna say I'd love to have a friend invite me to play sometime, but I guess
Yeah.
I won't wait by the phone.
We'll count this on air. This has been recorded. Is this our next evolution? Is that we become professional pickleball players? If that's the reason that like tears my marriage apart, where we're in couples therapy like a year down the road, it's like, so what seems to be the issue? It's like he eats and sleeps pickleball. It's all he talks about. It's all he does. He lost his job because all he does is pickleball. It was PTO, then it was unexcused absences, and then it was finally, Michael, we've got to let you go. You're not doing any work. You're just doing pickleball.
What do you think a pro pickleball player makes? Like $55K?
$10,000.
I'm looking this up. It can't be great.
It's like
But that's pickleball alone. They got the sponsorships. Not talking
oh my
sponsorship.
God. $225,000 a year? That can't be right.
That feels like maybe like one person in the league made that. That can't be the average.
Do you think there is like a LeBron James in this?
I mean,
okay.
well, LeBron James is in this.
Yeah. Never mind. Well, what I found was way off. ZipRecruiter is seeing salaries as high as $90,500 and as low as $19,000. The majority of pickleball pro salaries range between $29,500 to $52,000.
It's like the NFL back in like the 1920s, how they were just clocking out of like a mill and then going to play on Sundays.
But I mean, you think about the NIL opportunities involved with pickleball. Although I do foresee, the gas company getting upset when I send them like Margaritaville tumblers trying to pay for my bill, and they're like, "This is not going to get it done." But I don't know. I feel like if we fully commit to this, we can find our way into major pickleball league, and then we start campaigning for bigger salaries. Like, LeBron, I know you got it. You're good for it. Durant, Buffett, come on. I'm making $29,500 here. I'm putting butts in the seats. Come on. How about cashing up a little coin for your boy, your star, the face of the league?
That's when he drops the line on you. I'm Jimmy Buffett, not Warren Buffett.
That's a good line. How long have you been sitting on that one?
I mean, like 2 minutes, but I hope he's used it before.
I do want to not only become the face of the sport, I want a silhouette of me hitting a dink to become like the Jerry West. Like, I want to be the logo. You'll know it because of my big fucking head. You'll be like, that's your boy.
Okay, I need some elaboration. What is a dink?
Dink it's a shot in pickleball. I'm pretty sure it's similar to a drop shot. I hope that this doesn't embarrass me years down the road when ESPN Classic comes calling with Behind the Pickleball and like, look at this novice, but how far he came,
The dunce thought it was a dink.
We'll call this Dinkgate moving forward if I was wrong. But something else that I sent to the two of y'all earlier is a tweet from TLC Network yesterday. Now, TLC used to be heartwarming shows and movies, and then it just went off the rails. They have never turned down a reality TV show pitch in their life. You could go in there, it's just throw out anything you want. Just be like, electricians versus carpenters. And they'll be like, oh, okay, is this like an HGTV show? It's like, nope, back alley brawl. Oh, okay, we like it. We'll put it in primetime on Tuesdays. They have a new show coming out that premieres January 15th at 10/9 Central on TLC called MILF Manor. 8 hot moms leave home for the chance to find love with men half their age, but they're greeted with a shocking twist. Now, in the trailer for this, it's it may as well just be like a beacon of light for Botox is essentially what's being advertised. But it's all these women, presumably in their 40s and 50s, in bikinis at this tropical island, and then you don't see any of the guys' faces, but you can tell they're hunks. They show the midsection, clearly hunks. Now, the twist seems to be it was first nation reading comments on this tweet that it's going to be all of their sons, because if they're MILFs, obviously the implication is they have children, and it's going to be their sons, and they're going to be like mix and matching with the other women there, which I don't know what would be more uncomfortable for these MILFs, that, hey, this woman that I'm sharing like this cabana with is nailing my son, or all these hunks together. It's just like, hey, I'm probably going to nail your mom tonight.
Well, what I liked about the trailer was how they kept stopping. They would show the hunks until like the neck, and then they'd stop. They'd cut away, which I agree with you. That's got to be the twist. But it's like
maybe they're just really ugly, and they're like, how bad do you want these younger men? Because look at Landon over here, not looking so great, busted teeth.
You know, that could be in play, and maybe what I'm about to say is a reason why it's in play. Because they stop here, like I'm gonna be like, oh no, that's her son. I know them. Like me watching the trailer, I would not connect that they're related unless they're all like dead lookalikes.
Even if it said like Amy's son, I'd be like, who the fuck is Amy?
Right. Like, so maybe they are just bust. Who knows?
Doc, what could the twist be?
Fake bodies, right? Like a mannequin body, and just the complete opposite standing behind
Robots?
it. No, not robots.
Has AI gone too far?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm imagining like a bunch of really heavy set, just hairy dudes like myself turned sideways, right? So the mannequin hides their body, but they turn their head that way to look over. I don't know. I'm thinking outside the box here. I'm in a fluster.
I don't think we have the technology to do what Doc is suggesting.
Yeah, I don't think science is there yet. What if this, like after they finally pan up on that first episode, the big twist is that they're all professional pickleball players, and this whole thing is a big ad for Margaritaville.
And Jimmy Buffett is a marketing genius.
Wasted away again in MILF Manor. Turn on the FC at 10 on Central.
Or like the professional pickleball league, the championship is at MILF Manor. So it's like, you know, the race for the FedEx Cup. Instead of that, it's like the race to get to MILF Manor. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is this a vote-off show?
I don't know. I don't know if there's competitions.
They did not give us like any information other than it's hunks and MILFs.
Yep.
What if it's DILFs? What if it's like old dads?
No, these guys were hunks, I'm telling you.
Yeah. What if all the guys have Benjamin Button disease? So they're all like 22, but they all look like they're 80. It's like, so how bad do you want these younger hunks? 22-year-old body, but upstairs, old man. All of them.
What if we have a Futurama situation? Frozen heads.
It's just like Ted Williams and Walt Disney's heads on these hunk bodies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the possibilities are bountiful.
He's got a great body, but I couldn't get past that it was Babe Ruth.
What if all these guys just thought that this was AA, and they have like severe drinking problems, and they thought that they were going to like the Malibu rehab center, and it's just like, hey, I'm Destiny. It's just like, hey, I'm Brian. I've been an alcoholic for 10 years now. She's like, ooh, you're troubled, but I bet I can fix you. He's like, please, that's really all I'm here for is to get fixed. Like, would you like to get a drink sometime? Yes. Only if it's water. If it's anything other than water, I'm going to have my pants on the chandelier before the end of the night. Ooh, you sound fun.
I'm gonna sneak him
haven't been
a
able to
vodka
hold a
drink.
job.
You should have seen what I did in that back alley last night.
Doc, how mad are you going to be when you turn on MILF Manor and that guy from Gatlinburg is one of the hunks?
Just flash in the ring.
Yeah, he's got one on every finger.
Gotcha, bitch. You better hope I'm on the other side of the Mississippi, because Lord knows I'm coming with a fury.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, do we have any other theories on what this could be?
Well, if it's the son's angle, like the women would know, because I assume like the casting call is like, hey, MILF, are you a MILF? Do you love young hunks?
Do you have a
Also,
son?
do you have a son who is a young hunk? Like,
That feels like a setup.
yeah. Like, I kind of see where you're going with this, but whatever, you know.
Or they get to casting, they're like, hey, so you're a MILF, you have kids? Like, yeah, of course I have kids. Can I see a picture? They're like, ooh, he's fat. Sorry, you've got to go. Like, oh.
Should this be more of a cougar situation than a MILF situation, though? Isn't it based off of the older women trying to attract younger men?
I think they're kind of one and the same, but a cougar can technically not have kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. They might need to rebrand here.
If you set this up, like, because you know that there's going to be spinoffs of this, and I really hope the next one is GILF Manor.
I was going to say, you can't go DILF Manor. Old dude, young chick, can't do that. That's not flying.
That's uncomfortable TV, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's all going to be uncomfortable TV. Nothing about this is going to be like, I really want to grab a bowl of popcorn, a glass of red wine, and watch these women compete for the hearts and bodies of their friend's son.
Hey, Ben, you want to go play pickleball tonight? I can't. I got MILF Manor at 10-9 Central. And
you know it's MILF Monday. I can't.
I'm out of commission, pal. I don't know. I bet that there will be at least one competition in this that will be name these things. Like they'll show a slideshow and it'll be like a VHS tape, and they'll be like, I have no idea. And these women will be like, oh, what are we doing here? And maybe they'll do a competition for the MILFs. It's just like, okay, your computer needs updating. What do you need to do before it updates to complete the update? And they're just like, I usually call my son to do it. Well, good news, your son is fucking here.
I was say your son was the mystery suite or whatever that the Bachelor does. Your son's in the mystery suite already.
And they were all like, I have very high libido. Oh,
yeah.
All I want is sex. Like, thou doth protest too much. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's gonna be something. I do think years ago we did the review of the Big Show. I think we do have to tune in for MILF Manor on January 15th, right?
At least 2 nights. No, Q does. Q has to watch it and explain it to us, and we get live reaction.
Okay. I'm going to have an extensive notebook on this. Okay. Yeah, we'll come back to it. And before it premieres, maybe we'll hash out a few more theories and we'll see what cooks. All right. Now it's time, of course, for Gambling Dan's. Last week was not exactly a banner week. Ben went 1-4, but did hit his whammy to bring his record to 50%, but he's hitting 60% of his whammies. I had a 2-3 week, missed my whammy. Brings me down to 57% on the year, but 36% on whammies. Doc, tough scene. 1 and 4 missed the whammy, down to 41%, 27% on whammies. Before we get to them, want to thank our friends again over at Manscaped. We were sent packages from Manscaped. 4 our packages included in there was the one, the only Lawnmower 4.0. This trimmer is the future of grooming and features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof and has a 400K LED spotlight you need for a more precise shave. If you're anything like me, you somehow still have shaving remnants from 2016 somewhere in your bathroom. Well, thanks to that waterproof technology, say goodbye to the mess on the bathroom floor. Say hello to a cleaner, fresher shave. It's time to take care of yourself, so go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free shipping with the code SJBAtlanta at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. All right. Doc, you went first last week. Things did not get better. How about you bring up the rear this week? Ben, do you want to get things started?
Yeah, I'll go right off the bat with just a pure pleasure play.
Oh. I hate that transition from MILF Manor.
So the lowest total for college football, just for perspective, this season is both games involve Iowa. It's the Iowa-Kentucky bowl game. That's not what I'm betting, but the line there is 31.5. Or it's Iowa doesn't even have a quarterback. But just to give you, that's kind of where we're thinking when we hear this number. The Cardinals Broncos over under this week is 36.5. And just for shits, I say take the under. Why not? Just watch some really bad football with backup quarterbacks like struggling to make sense of their offense. The other one is, again, I'm not going to give you a lot of analysis here because me in the NFL is like, I really am just kind of trying to find my glasses in the dark on my nightstand, just reaching. The Bengals and the Bucks, why not Joe Burrow? Why not? So give me the Bengals minus 3.5.
I'm going to jump on a couple of unders myself on low totals that are just gut-wrenching. The first one, because I just want to get rid of this pick. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to move on, but I am picking it. Steelers, Panthers, under 37.5. Both teams come in at 5-8. It's Mason Rudolph versus Sam Darnold. Both teams actually have a pretty decent pass rush that will make life difficult on the opposing horrible quarterback. Not only are both teams 5-8 on the year in terms of record, they are also both 5-8 at hitting overs this year. I don't exactly see this one as an up and down greatest show on turf. So Steelers, Panthers under 37.5. On Saturday, give me the Browns, Ravens under 38.5. I thought about taking the Browns just because the Ravens have been so dreadful this year. But then as I dug into it a little bit deeper, since Deshaun Watson has taken over as the Browns quarterback, the Browns have scored one offensive touchdown in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the Ravens, their last 4 totals, 16 points combined with the Panthers, 55 with Jacksonville, 19 with Denver, and 30 with Pittsburgh. Huntley's hurt. Dobbins limped in his first game back. This will be an absolute slot fest. Baltimore is 4-9 at hitting overs on the year. Take the under 38.
Well, I liked Ben's analogy there of reaching for his glasses on his bedside table in the dark. I'm doing the same thing, but I just remembered I don't wear glasses. So feel free to fade all of these. Give me Titans plus 3, Falcons plus 4.5.
Maybe you need glasses with the way you're seeing these games.
Yeah, beer goggles would really help. Let's start throwing darts at a board or drinking a fifth of beam and then picking teams. Jesus. Ben,
wait, that was your picks?
Yeah, Titans plus 3, Falcons plus 4.5.
Oh, my bad. You know who's exciting is the Detroit Lions. So why not just take?
What was that?
Doc and I are really struggling here. All right, can you just show us?
I don't wear glasses.
I mean, the Detroit Lions have a super fun offense. Is Mike White going to play for the Jets? I don't know. So just take the Lions. plus 1.5. Just do it, right? So then the Cowboys are another team that like played bad football last week, but surely that means their best football's in front of them, right? So just take the Cowboys minus 4.5.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
For my next two, I've got a couple of large favorites in terms of NFL lines. Give me the Bills -7 at home against the Dolphins on Saturday night. There's going to be a whole mess of snow in Buffalo at night. It's going to be horrible. The Dolphins are 2-3 against the spread as an underdog this year. That's the 6th worst in the NFL. Miami is also 2-5 against the spread on the road. That's the 2nd worst in all of football. The Bills have beaten the Dolphins 5 straight at home. Not one of those has been by a touchdown or less. The Dolphins are banged up on the offensive line. Tyreek Hill has a bum ankle. Jeff Wilson is questionable. This is not going to go well for Miami. Buffalo is going to put them in their place this week. Give me the Eagles -9 at the Bears. Don't love taking big favorites on the road in the NFL, but the Bears are 4-7 against the spread as dogs. That's the 5th worst percentage in the league. The Bears are also 2-3-1 against the spread at home. That's the 7th worst mark in the league. Last week, everything pointed to the Giants. I originally wrote down Eagles -6.5, but after all the research I did, I said, I can't justify this. So I took the Giants. I flipped my pick. I never do that. The Eagles beat the ever-living shit out of the Giants. So I'm not making that mistake again. The Bears have lost 6 in a row straight up in 9 of 10 until their bye last week. They lost by 9 at home to Green Bay and 21 at the Jets in their last 2 games before the bye. Meanwhile, the Eagles' last 2 games, they beat the Giants by 26 and the Titans by 25. I think the Eagles are absolutely going to romp this Bears defense. Give me Eagles -9.
Browns -2.5. Lions, Jets over 44.5. Over to you, Ben.
Damn, now you're just making me sad, Doc. The Vikings are much better than the Colts. Edgerrin James ain't walking through that door. So give me Vikings -4.5 for my whammy.
So I have missed my last 5 whammies.
What is wrong with us?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I was humming along, just in a beautiful spot with my whammies, and then just shit hit the fan. But this week, I'm going to go with the Bengals as well. So that makes 2 of us on the Bengals train. Tampa is the worst in the NFL against the spread. They're 3-9-1 this year at covering. Meanwhile, the Bengals are the best in the NFL at covering the spread at 10-3. The Bengals are 7-3 this year against the spread as favorites. They're also 5-2 ATS on the road. That's the 2nd best mark in football. The Bengals have won 5 straight, while Tampa Bay just got blown out by a zillion at San Francisco. I feel really great about this pick, which means you should probably fade it. But my whammy, Bengals -3.5.
I should probably be on the game show whammy for how well I've been missing whammies lately, but just take Bengals 3.5.
If the Bengals,
So we're all on the
yeah, this better go well.
I don't see it. I mean, everything points to the Bengals covering this line, so that ultimately means this will be like the Rashad White game, and Buccaneers will win by 40. All right. Well, that'll do it for us this week. I hope you learned a lot about pickleball, even with a very vague description of dink shots. Thanks as always for listening. We'll see you next week.